In this video, we'll be learning how to create a scroll progress bar in Webflow. You'll be able to apply this to any Webflow website. The main tool we'll be using in this project is Webflow. You can sign up for an account at webflow.com. Webflow has a free plan, and that will be sufficient for the needs of this project. For convenience, I've timestamped this video in the description. I'm going to dive into this project and assume you already have a website in Webflow that you wish to add a scroll progress bar to. I'm going to add a scroll progress bar to the website where I post all the written versions of my tutorials, commandcodeless.com. The first thing we need to do is design our progress bar. So what you'll want to do is get a div block from the elements, which you can find here, and you want to place that at the top of your website. Now, if you have trouble placing the element, just click the navigator and then you can drag it to the top of the web page. Let's now give the div block a class, and I'll give it a class of div, and I'll do a colon, and then I'll just write progress. Giving your elements a class makes them easier to work with. I want to change the color of our div block too. So let's find the background color, which we can see here, and let's set that to a hex code of DAD4ED. We also want to set the width, so let's scroll back up and set the width to 100%. That ensures it takes up the full frame. And we'll want to set a height, so let's set the height to 10px. That's not too large. We'll also want to fix its position, so we can find that under position, and if we select the drop down, we can set the position to fixed, and we'll want to set it to the top left. And to ensure it appears above all the other content, we'll want to set the Z index to a really high number. So let's set it to 9999 and press enter. Now that we have our bar designed, let's create the scroll effect. First, you'll want to click on the interactions panel, which you can find along the top, and it's this Thunderbolt-like icon. So click onto the interactions panel. Then what you'll want to do is add a page trigger. And the page trigger should be for while the page is scrolling. From here, we can animate our scroll progress bar. From here, you'll want to click onto Action and then select Play Scroll Animation. Now click the plus symbol next to Scroll Animations. Note, make sure that the element div progress is selected. As we can see, we have it selected here. So that means we're editing that div block and creating the animation upon it. Now let's just name this scroll animation to progress bar, so we know what it refers to. I like to name everything clearly. It just makes it easier to work with later. Again, we'll want to click the plus symbol. Now select Scale. Make sure that you have 0% set at the top. This is the starting position. Now at the bottom, under Scale, what we want to do is first unlock, so click the lock button to unlock the settings. Then we want to set the x-axis to 0, and we want to set the y-axis to 1. So that's the starting scale of the X and the Y axes of our progress bar. These settings ensure that if you're at the top of the page and not scrolling, you don't see the bar yet, but it's set at the top. Now click on to 100%. Again, what we want to do here is click the lock so we can edit the settings, and then set the X axis to 1. And ensure that the y-axis is also set to 1. These settings ensure that as you move down the page from 0 to 100%, that the progress bar grows from 0 to 1, still set to the top. Then simply click Save. we have one more thing to do. And the thing we must do is to get the scroll progress bar to start from the left and move to the right, because at the moment the progress bar starts at the center and moves outwards. So we must go back under Style, and then we must find the transform option, which if you scroll down, you'll see 2D and 3D transforms, and click the 3 little dots next to it. And from here, you'll want to set the transform settings to the left. So left is set to 0%, and we can leave top as 50%. This ensures that it grows from left to right as we scroll. Now, if we click off this and preview the web page, as we scroll, you'll see that the progress bar along the top moves from left to right as we scroll the entire web page. From now on, readers will be able to see how far down the page they are. This project is now complete. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this no-code project, please give this video a like. And if you want to be notified of the latest no-code projects that I publish every week, please subscribe. I'll see you in another no-code project.